Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The Champions League resumed today with two mouth-watering ties in the quarter-final stage of the competition. We look first at the big encounter between 2021 winners Chelsea and defending champions Real Madrid. Here are the highlights.
It's a cautious selection from Chelsea, fair to say that. He's gone to the 5, he played a 4 in the Premier League at the weekend.
Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea. And the break is on here for João Felix. Well, he got the shot away. Here by themselves, by their fans and by the Chelsea scouts wanting to attack in numbers, and here's Benzema with that attacking joie de vivre. Here's Dani Carvajal, and it's Benzema on the spot after Vinicius chased it down.
Perfectly flighted, weighted, right on the money, and that pair combining yet again. Kepa's attempt to save, just taking the weight off the ball.
Linking with Rodrigo. Oh, it's a beautiful disguise on the pass. Just the angle. João Felix, maybe some understanding here. And that's better. He started the first half with a chance. Started the second half the same way. The ball going out, Carlo Ancelotti waves it away, and the assistant goes with Ancelotti. Vinicius on the run. To pull it back here towards Benzema. To set up Modric, trying to place it. Camavinga curling it in towards Benzema. Oh, nearly an own goal by Thiago Silva.
Well, he had a gentle swing at it as it came into him, Benzema. And then nearly got the...
Valverde setting Rodrigo away again. There was a hand on him by Ben Chilwell. It's outside the area.
Chilwell feeling he's got no choice, and he would have known the red card was coming here.
Vinicius.
Well, they were patient then.
Oh, there's your second goal. Carlo Ancelotti has made the switch.
He made this look easy, actually, but it was far from that. It's played across at a fair pace, and he strokes it in through the legs.
It's the season. It's rather depended on them doing that. Cucurella. And here's Mount. And then it came out to
old teammate.
Chouameni. Well, there we are, halfway through. And Real Madrid head to London. And Carlo Ancelotti, City Carlo Ancelotti loves, with a 2-goal advantage.
Joining us now to help dissect this encounter is our football analyst out of Trinidad and Tobago, Brent Sancho. Brent, I reckon that Real Madrid didn't even touch second gear here.
You're being generous. They didn't even start the car. I'm not sure. But no, you're right. I mean, it was always going to be an uphill task for Chelsea in the current situation that they're in. It's a team that's lacking confidence. It's a team that's lacking leadership, direction, structure, and from a more important point of view, it's a team that's lacking goals. And once you can't score at this time of the competition, it's very difficult for you to get by on a tie. That being said, they should have known that, taking their chances would be pivotal, and they got a very early chance. Felix threw on goal, and that could have been a difference, especially early on in this contest. They probably should have followed the Inter Milan blueprint. They haven't been scoring a lot of goals either, but they took their chances yesterday against Benfica. This should have been taken. Yeah, it should have been taken, but again, when a team is that low in confidence, and look, when you're within the locker room and the conversation about the team needing a striker and of course the amount of goals they've scored so far, not enough, clearly not enough. I believe even a team like Brentford has more goals than they do. it plays on your mind. And when you look at the strike from a player of Felix's, of course, ability, it looks like a man that's, of course, has fallen into that situation. I agree, a goal might have changed the tie in the sense of that period of it, but I still felt that Real Madrid was just about to start going up in gears, and that probably might have ended up 2-1 or 3-1 the scoreline.
Well, whatever gear they went up to, it was enough for them to get that first goal in the first half. And again, Vinicius Jr. was a handful, wasn't he? And again, the partnership with him and Benzema proving fruitful for the hosts.
Yeah, I listened to the BBC commentary, and they were talking to Mario Melchiot, and they asked him, how do you stop someone like Vinny Jr.? And he was correct in what he said. Is there are very few players in the world that constantly run at defenders. Most times, a winger tries to mix his game up, which you play inside, he may play backwards, he would turn around and then maybe attack you and try to vary his game. But Vinny Jr. is the type of player that attacks you for 90 plus minutes. And what Mario Melchiot said, the former Chelsea defender, is that you have to be very, very fit to face him, because every single time he picks the ball up, he is going to be very, very direct. That is difficult to defend. And in a Chelsea lineup where, of course, there wasn't much cover provided on that side, Fofana, of course, succumbing to an early yellow card because Reece James were playing high up the park, it's very difficult to defend him. And so a player like Vinny Jr. is always going to be a threat. And until any team that plays Real Madrid can find a way to solve that conundrum, it's going to be difficult to beat Real Madrid.
Brent, last year at this time in the quarter-final matchup, Chelsea had lost the first leg at home 3-1, but goals by Rudiger, Mount, and who was it now? Timo Werner rallied Chelsea in the second leg at the Bernabeu and sent the game into extra time. I'm suspecting that based on your earlier narrative about this not being a Chelsea that you can rate too highly, that you aren't expecting any kind of similar fight back from the London side in the return.
Yeah, it's look, we all know anything can happen in football, and I would say that, put my hands up for that. But I think what we've seen from Chelsea, it's been season long. It's not something that it's been a period of time or something that's been a short period of time. It's been a season long issue. They just cannot find a way, of course, to score goals. And what is more alarming, Lance, they don't even look like they're going to score. I mean, yes, they had one or two chances earlier, but the combination play, cutting through teams, I mean, you can't even, when you think back, whether it be EPL, Champions League, you can't really think back of a Chelsea team that was creating chance after chance, and they don't. One thing we will all agree on is that we believe that Real Madrid will score, whether it's in Stamford Bridge, whether it's back at the Bernabeu. They will score. The question is, can Chelsea score? And I would suggest, I don't think they can. They just don't look like it.
I'm not going to say that Real Madrid took their foot off the gas, but do you think that maybe the coaching staff would be a little bit disappointed with the fact that they couldn't get more, based on the fact that Chelsea were down to 10 men with a Chilwell being sent off?
Yeah, I think that's the only, of course, red line through the Real Madrid performance. They should have gone at least 3 or 4 goals to the good. They weren't able to do that, which is surprising. Karim Benzema having a chance there that he should have put away, and 1 or 2 others. And that's the only disappointing thing. I think at 2-0, and as probably Lance was alluding to, it still leaves the door open for Chelsea. There's one thing we can all say here. This tie is not over from any stretch of the imagination. And because of that, we still have everything to play for at Stamford Bridge. But as I said, it is probably the only blot in Real Madrid's book.
Well, Milan hosted fellow Italian giants Napoli at the San Siro in their quarter-final first leg. The Rossoneri's had thumped Napoli 4-0 just 10 days ago in their domestic league encounter. Here's how they fared against them earlier today.
It's Napoli who get us underway. First leg of the UEFA Champions League Quarter-Final.
Progressed past Frankfurt in the last round. How do they cope without Osimhen?
Oh, there's a chance. All cleared off the goal line from Kvaratskhelia. Warren. One by Di Lorenzo. Zielinski. Turned over the top again by Manuel. Oh, it's a test again for Manuel. Yeah. Best of acceleration from Rafael Leao. He's got him away from Anguissa. The break is on. Led by Brahim Diaz. Options right and left. Rafael Leao. A bullet finish from Benacer. And Milan have the advantage from one end of the pitch to the other.
And Merrick tries to clear with his right boot. I don't know why he doesn't dive and block it. He tries to clear with his right boot, and it's up into the roof of the net to give Milan the lead.
Kvaratskhelia has been one of the sensations of the season. All the headers, Manuel stretching back, and he just about did it up. Hernandez.
Well, he's in trouble now.
He's just been cautioned, and that's a second yellow card for Franck-André Anguissa, and Napoli are reduced to 10 men. Politano. Oh, and turned over the top by Mannion from Di Lorenzo.
What stop this is. Di Lorenzo thinks he scored. Magnon throws out that left hand. It's arrowing into the top corner.
Well, that is it. A terrific first leg in the San Siro.
Brent, I know they lost, but I was still pretty impressed by how Napoli played away from home.
Yeah, it's look, I think at the end of the day, you know, Napoli, performance-wise, I did watch a bit of that game, and I did feel that they dominated the game and they just couldn't score. Of course, no Victor Osimhen, that's a massive loss for Napoli, and probably why they didn't find the back of the net. The Nigerian has been in prolific form for most of the season. But give AC Milan credit, they stuck in, they dug in. They got their chance, they got their goal, and you know, they have all to play for in the second leg.
Yeah, I guess, you know, being the home team, you would want to get a few more goals on their belts, because going to Napoli now, even though that was the venue of that 4-0 win for AC Milan 10 days ago, it's not going to be easy in the Champions League.
No, it's not going to be easy, and this is a Napoli team that's already basically wrapped up the Serie A, and will think amongst themselves that, look, we have a chance here to push for possibly another trophy. When you look at the competition, Real Madrid and Manchester City, if all things are equal, may play each other in the semi-finals, and Napoli may have a chance to play Inter in the next semi-finals. And if you are part of that squad there in Naples, you might be thinking two Italian teams, two teams that you think you have the beating of, and all of a sudden you're playing in the finals. And as you know, anything can happen in the finals. So I'm very sure in the second leg of this, Napoli is going to turn on the Jets. They've been terrific all season in the Serie A, and possibly going to go for broke. And I think once they go into that mode, it might be a bit difficult for AC Milan.
Brent, thanks for your time. As always, we'll catch you next week when the Champions League resumes.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, we'll take a quick break now. When we return, we have our second zone update. Stay with us.